I'm going to cover types of TV viewing that you can do. Also, we'll talk about requirements for streaming. What do you need? We'll talk about why you want to consider streaming, 3 types of streaming, and how to prepare your devices. We'll also talk about how to choose a streaming provider, how to subscribe to a provider, and we'll start with, first of all, antennas. Antennas is a way of viewing TVs with free access to local TV stations. We had antennas long before we had cable, and you can today look at television directly from your antenna through the airways to television, and you can get anywhere between 30 to 100 channels. In the Sunrise building here, you should be able to receive 65 channels, including all local viewing. 1950 started the cable TV providers. Most of us have used cable TV for years. That's all we know, and that's all we relate to. Cable TV as we know it, though, is being replaced by streaming in different ways of viewing television, which are much more robust and offers a lot better capabilities of receiving programs and information. So what is streaming? Streaming is using the internet to watch TV, other internet websites, or programming. It doesn't rely on your cable or satellite to determine what you view. You determine what you view. In 2005, streaming on a World Wide Web got popular, and we can also stream, first of all, through cell towers using our smartphones. We don't even have to have a television to stream with. Or we can use Wi-Fi and direct internet connections that connect directly to our TV or our computers. Requirements for streaming is you have to have a fast internet connection. If you're using it in Sunrise here, you'll have no difficulty with that, as we have very fast internet services. Devices to view streaming content. You can use any television, any computer, any tablet, such as an iPad or Android tablet or Chromebook. You can use smartphones or any other device where you can receive internet access. Modern TVs offer streaming by manufacturers. These are a little bit less than what you can get otherwise. However, they are good. The reception is good. Frequently, they will limit the amount of channels that you can download for streaming. So for this reason, some newer TVs have a built-in streaming device where you can get everything that you want from the top devices. So let's look at devices. First of all, on the upper left is Roku. Rokus have a connector that plugs into your HDMI port. We'll show you how to do this later. And it also has just what you want, another new remote. However, this can control everything on your television. Fire Sticks do the same thing, and also Apple TV does pretty much the same thing. There's also a device called TiVo, which is truly a recording device, but they also offer a full line of streaming capabilities. Smartphones and computers can be either plugged into television so you can watch whatever they have on them, or you can cast to a television from a computer or smartphones, most of the newer ones. And this allows you not to have to use any kind of wiring to hook up. You just do it directly by a command called casting that you can get to in your setup menus. So why you want to consider streaming? First of all, it saves a lot of cost. Cable is often over $100 per month, in addition to what you're paying for your internet. To get TV stations your provider does not offer. Also on the cost side, currently all the streaming companies are under $100 per month, unless you just add a lot of other things to it. You can watch old TV programs when you're streaming that are no longer available on television. You can watch what you want, when you want, and as often as you want. You're not reliant on what they're broadcasting at the current time on cable television. You can watch sporting events from all over the world anytime you want to, and even review them without extra cost in many cases. It offers unlimited learning, including university degrees. You can watch special interest programs of your choice. You can view recently released movies much quicker than you can get them through cable in many cases. And you can view organizational meetings and teaching. Things that you can stream are some examples are live television, news, sports, weather, movies, reality TV, and the other ones listed. Local organizations listed on the bottom is interesting because a lot of hobby organizations actually have their own websites. Also, religious organizations and churches, many churches today wind up broadcasting their services through the internet, and some that you can even watch later. So this is an advantage for people that can't get out of the building and have to attend the church. Level 1, free streaming. There are 3 levels of streaming. The first level is free. This is total free looking at television. You don't have to pay a dime for it, and very good reception in 90% of the cases. You can look at TV and videos made by anyone. You can look at private organization websites, YouTube. Sling has a free offering. Amazon has a lot of free things on it. Netflix, and there's also many, many more. Movie channels. Stations that show movies only are listed below. There's many of them, and some of these you can pick to choose and watch anytime you want to. Next is level 2. These are low-cost streaming providers. These cost generally between $5 to $50 per month. Offer more than recent and better selections, and some are very recent selections, and hundreds of providers of commercial and private choices. A few common providers are Amazon Prime, Netflix, Apple TV Plus, Sling Orange and Blue, Philo, Hulu, Paramount Plus, and there's many, many more, including, again, private providers. So you can get by pretty cheap with getting a lot of information. Level 3, these are full cost streaming providers. They're designed to replace or enhance your cable provider. You don't have to get rid of your cable if you don't. You want to, you can actually use both. The cost is generally $55 to $100 per month currently. Local live TV requires cable or full cost streaming provider. Common providers are Philo, YouTube TV, Hulu Plus, Hulu Live TV, Fubo, DirecTV Stream, Sling TV, and there are many, many more. Again, like I said, one advantage of this is you get the local providers that not all of cable currently has. YouTube, there are 3 types of video and TV viewing. The first type is free Google Video. You can view anything you can possibly imagine. You can watch most old television programs for free, poorer quality of viewing, and the other thing is sometimes you'll get interruptions. If the song was ever written, it's probably on here, and you can watch it. You have to put up with commercials between these and during these viewings at times. Also, teaching tools. If you want to learn how to do something, it's probably on YouTube. Let's say the device breaks on your television, on your refrigerator, and you don't know what it is or how to fix it. You can go to YouTube, say what the problem is, and it'll come up with all kinds of step-by-step ideas of how to fix and be able to take care of things. It lets you post your own videos for private or public viewing if you have a Gmail account. This is great with relatives or things you may want to even commercially put on the streaming websites. YouTube TV, it's one of the top providers and it's unlimited recording for $70 a month. Recently that went up, I believe, to an $80 range. And all of these tend to raise a little bit as they get more popular. Let's look at Amazon. There's another provider. Great menu system. Their menu shows free, pay-per-view, and downloadable purchase programs. What's nice with this, if you order a movie, you can download it and keep it forever by purchasing it. and keep it on your computer or store it on the Amazon site. What is free today may cost tomorrow. That's kind of a negative part on Amazon. If they get really a lot of people that have interest, they may start charging for what you're watching. The charges are nominal, usually $5 to $9. There is no local TV networks on Amazon, so you won't get CBS, NBC, or the others. Amazon Level 2 is Amazon Prime. It's $15 per month. This is not free. It includes music streaming, great choices, millions of songs, and much more free viewing. It includes 2-day servicing with your shopping and a lot of sales as you shop on Amazon. It includes free storage of movies and music you purchase and great selection of no additional cost of more recent TV movies. If you order anything through the internet, you do want to join Amazon Prime. The $15 a month is well worth it. And believe me, you'll save so much by using it that you can't even imagine the benefits. You can also add other streamers such as Paramount Plus, BritBox for people that like British programs, such as like Doc Martin or all of the other ones that are popular, and also Acorn, which is another viewing. Next is Netflix. Free service has limited TVs and movies. Free service up to $19 per month, or the fee if you use the fee service. Lots of your old favorite programs with very high quality viewing. They have the best quality that's out there now. What you see on the menu is included in the cost. There's no extra charge if it's on a Netflix menu. The program menu choices come and go. For instance, if you're watching the whole series of MASH over the years that they recorded it, you may have it for free, and then all of a sudden it disappears. 2 years later, it comes back, and it may be on the $19 per month viewing system. And then a year later, it goes away again. And so they do this to entice people to join Netflix and to stay members at $19 a month. That's a pretty cheap go for looking at fairly good quality gold programs. They also offer a lot of Netflix-only programs. A lot of famous production companies today are going away from syndicated television and going to streaming companies because they can get a lot better deals. Viewing sport channels, best done through cable, level 2 or level 3 provider. Many major sports have websites for viewing. There's a listing of some that are on here if you want to do it. Some of them may still cause blackouts in your area, but if you're on a level 3 provider, you're generally not going to receive any blackouts. Yahoo Sports. This is a free app you can put on your computer or on your smartphone, and this has a lot of information. You can watch what the current scores are. You can look at statistics of all the teams in any sport you can imagine, from basketball to baseball, football, golf, soccer, rugby, just about any sport you can imagine. You can track your players. And it even has some live viewing capable on it at certain times, especially with the high interest games. So how do you connect the TV antenna to a TV? First of all, we do recommend a flat screen antenna. We call it a wall antenna, a flat wall antenna. You plug the end of it into your cable device on the back of your television, and that's going to be this device here. And then you will be able to view it. Next, if you want to have cable and antenna at the same time, then you need to get what we call a splitter. And what this does is allows you, there's a switch on there where you can use it for antenna or for cable. You would plug the cable on this end and the antenna one on this end, or vice versa. And so you can switch it each time. That's how you connect a TV antenna to a TV. We also have a handout, which you can get from the activity director on how to do this step by step. How do you connect the streaming device to television? Most of them will have a device that plugs right into your back of your television into the HDMI port. A lot of projectors will have this on the back of it. Computers will have this where you can plug it directly in, but you can use these devices. And then you'll also have, again, a new remote control device that can control just about everything on your television that you want. Using your remote to watch your Wi-Fi settings. How do you do this? First of all, on your remote, you would push for your device, for your television, you push the input button. After you push the input button, it'll bring up a screen of if you want to hook what you want to hook up. And you're going to want to open up network settings. When you open your network settings, make sure you're on an SRR data network, or if you have a private one that you use in your apartment, make sure it's hooked up on that. That will let these devices work off of the proper network instead of somewhere else where you won't be able to do anything. Setting your remote to view cable and antenna or TV. Again, you go to Input and you select the source, TV, AV, component, HDMI, PC, or USB. Input may also say Setup instead of Input. It just kind of depends on it. Even the remote devices that come with streaming TV have an input selection on it. Next, what you're going to do is, if you're using TV, an antenna, you select the antenna part. If you're using a streaming device, you're going to select HDMI 1. And that's what you're going to be viewing on your television when you look at it after doing these setup steps. Steps to choosing a streaming provider. We do have a couple recommendations because there are so many out there, a few really good ones. But the best way to do it is go on a website and look for ratings of a streaming provider. If you want to go to specific websites, Tom's Guide is good, top10.com, ZDNet, PC Magazine, chemcommando.com, and Consumer Reports. Once you do that, search the provider's channel lineup for channels to make sure it has the channels that you desire. If they don't have them, you're probably not going to want it. Most of us only watch 6 or 7 channels all day long. So you want to make sure that you have those 6 or 7 in your provider's lineup. If not, look for another provider. Cost. Consider sharing this with others. The nice part about this is you can actually get with your neighbor and say, hey, do you want to share using Fubo with me or YouTube TV? And we'll share the cost of it. So instead of paying $80 a month, we'll pay $40 a month a piece. So there's ways to save money. The other thing is recording capabilities. You want to be concerned with how much you can record and how long you can actually record it for. Can you add additional channels and services? Some streaming providers do offer additional channels at very low cost, others do not. So how to subscribe to internet provider. First, you're going to download the provider that you want after you looked at evaluations. Example, if you want Fubo TV, you go to the internet, you go to www.fubo.tv. Apps can be loaded on your device, TV, computer, tablet, or smartphone. So you don't only need to use it on your television. What's nice, once you load that provider, it will always be available on all your devices, and you only have to put in your password and your name and password of your contract one time on those devices. So you'll subscribe next, have a credit card handy because they're going to want to know your credit card so they can bill you monthly. But these are all easy to unsubscribe from and cancel billing whenever you want. A lot of them will have a 7-day free trial or a 10-day free trial. Then you can start viewing. The other thing to know is if you ever want to stop using a provider, they retain your information. So you were saving a lot of things to look at later. And then a year later, you go back to that provider, you will find your same menus and everything is retained. So you will have all the information that you needed before. This is the end of the presentation. If you need any further information, you can always check on YouTube for a lot of information on how to set up streaming, or you can also contact, if it's specific to our facility, the activities director, as they will be able to help you with some of these items as well. Thank you for your time.